Hello and welcome back to Sharin no Kuni. It finally goes on. And yeah, I think I should be recovered now more or less fully or not. I'm not even sure about this. But we are starting regardless because I just feel like doing it today. Well, reading and I just get it slow or something. No, that would be a lie. I played other games and recorded, but I was still sick while I was doing that, but that didn't add yet. Anyway, the sun was starting to set, so I decided that it would be a good time for Sachi to take a break. Dot dot dot. Her idiocy from earlier in the day had vanished into thin air. She was completely focused on her task, manipulating her pencil with the utmost precision. Oh man, looks like it's really starting to come along. Dot dot dot. Of course she won't react to that. I couldn't tell if she was ignoring me or if she just didn't hear me. We're gonna call it a day for now. Dot dot dot. Did you hear me? I returned after conveying my message.
待ってよ。
Wait! Sachi shakily rose to her feet. It'd be a waste of time to go home, so you can sleep here if you want.
ここで
Here? I'll lend you my chest. Where? Oh god, I should have said this. I'll lend you my chest. She slighted me with her sigh.
じゃあちょっと休むね。
Then I guess I take a break. Ah, she really did use my chest. What did you expect? Why wouldn't she do that? Ugh. But even though it was just a joke, I couldn't very well go back on my word.
疲れた。
Oh, I'm tired. Well, why would you joke about that? I mean, a more or less manly chest can be as comfy as a woman's lap, I guess? I don't know.
何やってんだろう私。
Oh, what the hell is wrong with me anyway?
なんかごめん。迷惑かけそう。
I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna piss you guys off even more. Her shoulders slackened. I gently laid her on the ground.
お姉ちゃん大丈夫かな。
Is she going to be okay? Mana, I'm sure you're tired yourself from hanging around here all day.
ううん。マナはたくさん寝れるから。
No, because I get to sleep all I want. You look pretty tired to me, Mana.
うん。
Aww. Her flustered response brought a smile to my face. Literally. It's been really hot lately, so I don't want you overexerting yourself. You'll end up being a bother if you don't let us know when you're worn out. Oh god, I really have to get into reading again.
迷惑なの？
A bother? Yep, you shouldn't try to force yourself past your limits. If you can't handle it, you can't handle it. However, there are certainly times when one has to force oneself past his or her limits. I'm glad he brought that up, so I don't have to do it. Discerning when doing so is appropriate. Discerning when doing so is appropriate is the difficult part. What Sachi was doing now probably went past her limits. Let's head back. I picked Sachi up by the arm and started carrying her.
健一は力持ちだね。
Pretty strong, Kenichi. This is just about all I can do for her. I placed Sachi, who had already taken her medicine, into her bed. Around 2 hours earlier than usual. Man, I've really gotten used to living here. You're like Kenichi Oni-chan now. I was an only child. That's a lie. A little white lie never hurt anyone after all, of course. Make Mana your little sister. This is the wrong voice, but... Well, that would require marrying Sachi first. It's really something only a child could say, or someone with the heart of a child. You should just marry her then. Then we could all be together forever. An older sister is an older sister, even if she's not listed on your family register. Older sister? I'd be your little sister, you know? Oh, that's right. Sorry, my head was elsewhere. Then, starting today, I call you Oni-chan. She grinned so widely that I could see all of her teeth. Unfortunately, I can't. That's pretty poor placement. I would really like to see her teeth. But, well, that's something that is weird. In a lot of animes, you really rarely see the teeth of the characters. Well, at least for the female ones. If I think about it, how often do I see... Wait, in One Piece I see the teeth frequently. In Fairy Tail I see them too. I think it is most of the times it's on female characters where the teeth are not as often visible. Would it be? That's kind of embarrassing. Please don't. Aww. I'll think about it after Sachi finishes her painting and I pass my exam. After you get everything in order? Yeah, that's right. I can't wait! Her smile seemed to suggest that both of these things were inevitable, natural even. I had to do my very best. For her sake. I already fucked up once, and normally you don't get second chances, and that's why we play video games. We do stupid decisions, see what the bad outcome is, and just revert it back in all of our save files. If our life could be just... be a big folder of save files, and you could just go back and forth and see different outcomes every time. That's basically what Undertale was all about, more or less at least. I mean, you only had one save file, but you could reset your progress and go over again. So yeah, but I mean a more practical multi-save file system like in most of the big RPG games, like The Witcher 3. I mean, yeah, you can go back and forth, revert your decisions and see the outcome and then just stop, go back and try it again. And, that would be kind of strange. I mean, it wouldn't work for the sole reason that everyone would always revert back to a previous save file. So if everyone is always reverting and trying to get the best out of every and any situation, you wouldn't even realize that your own life is reverted back to a certain point as well. So basically every individual person would need her own little dimension for themselves, so that only this one person is capable of doing that, but the next person is also capable of doing that in their own universe. So the multiverse theory. Why am I playing with dirt? Well, it's not dirt. I mean, it's trash. Whatever. But Wow. Yeah, infinite universes. Well, that's basically true. I mean, in Rick and Morty, they basically said that there are infinite universes, and every one of them is so. Oh god, yeah, Rick and Morty. I just recently watched all 2 seasons in, I think, 2 days, and it was hilarious, but so abstract and so weird, strange, and sometimes disgusting, and it's just all the things. Anyway, alright then. How about we eat some eel? Eel?
うなぎ
Eel? In Japan, they have this custom where they eat eel on really hot summer days. They call them Midsummer Days of the Ox.
日本
Japan? Japan is a wonderful place with many interesting customs. Unfortunately, they have this nasty little thing called the death penalty. You could say it's the fly in the ointment. That's actually a pretty huge discussion point on a lot of societies. I mean, the only country I know where the death penalty is the USA, and not even all of the USA have the death penalty. There are only a few states who still have death penalty. But ending a human's life, it always seems to be such a hard of a decision. But personally, I personally think if the one who have done the bad things is absolutely 100% confirmed without a doubt, and you could get rid of him from society, then I wouldn't have a bad feeling about it actually executing such a person. But on the other hand, I don't know how it feels like to take a life from someone's person, so. But I mean, if you see a mass murderer and he even says, yes, I did all of this, would you really want him to be in a prison with other human beings he could potentially kill inside the prison? And he could just do it over and over again. And even if he is in an isolated cell, there could be a day where a big prison break happens and he's free again and could kill even more after he gets free on foot again. I think that kind of person you didn't really want it in society ever or anymore, but that would be only ensured by a death penalty that is there. I mean, if there wouldn't be any penalties, everyone would just do whatever they pleases to do. That's what penalties are for. But I think this obligation system is also, even though it is weird and it is hard to judge and all of that, it still would be kind of a nice, valid system that could even work in our society in some weird ways. So that's weird that he's saying that the death penalty is the fly in their ointment. I think I remember just totally dumb stuff right now, and I'm sorry for that already, but that's just what flies through my head sometimes. Mana wants to read that story too. You got it. I searched around in my case. I only have the corporate volume with me right now.
どういう内容なの
What's it about? I've only read part of it, but it's about this normal businessman named Toriyama Koichi and how he climbs through the ranks to manager, chief, and finally director. His title changes along with his posts.
ほほ
Her eyes sparkled in response to the summary. You want to read it? I don't think you'll find it very entertaining.
いいのいいのマナは本を読みたかったな
Oh god, if someone... It'll be just fine. I've always wanted to read a book. Come to think of it, there weren't any books suited for a kid like Mana in Sachi's room. What kind of books does Sachi actually read? Starting with Toriyama Koichi probably wasn't the best idea though. I mean, there were sex scenes and stuff. Ooh, bad bad sex stuff. It floats everywhere on YouTube, but it only for some reason even but it's just dumb to censor something when it is inside a game or inside an artwork. And that's why the YouTube system is totally convoluted, and there are dumb restrictions about this is a subject that ruffles me up the most. I mean, there's Until Dawn? I think it was Until Dawn, where people get dismembered, eyes popping out, decapitation, torn to pieces, and a lot of big YouTubers did a Let's Play about it, and YouTube says, oh yeah, that's fine, you can monetize that, that's totally family friendly, we don't give a fuck about that. But if you get a nude picture of a few minutes or something inside another video, or even just humping a body pillow, like it was in Lost Pause, it immediately gets age restricted. Oh no, sex on our website. Oh, YouTube. This is just something, and in their terms of condition is actually stated that violence is equally treated as sexual things. And I mean, very tame sexual things get easily age restricted or even striked, and violent things tends to not get a strike, if at all. So this is just an unfair system. Either really treat it equally, or just don't allow... I just don't know how to do about this. Just scratch those paragraphs out of YouTube. And only really the morbid real life stuff. What I don't want to see on YouTube are real porn with real people and real stuff like this. Or what I don't want on YouTube are hentais where it's only about the sex without any story or without any character development or something like that. Or a game where you only kill and mutilate your guys for the sake of mutilating someone. But like The Witcher 3 or something, where you actually have a goal, where you have morals to keep up, where you can decide to kill or not to kill, and where you only defend yourself and then brutally murder them in self-defense. With a higher goal in mind and something like that. That would be something I could agree on. But if every slightly related sex stuff is immediately censored in some way, and a lot of brutal stuff that is only brutal for the sake of being brutal is just left aside. And wait, what am I talking about? I mean, I don't want the real thing. I don't want something that is only sex for the sole reason of sex and only violent for the sole reason of violent. But there has to be some meaning behind it. A background, a story, and character development. If those things are not inside the game, then YouTube should copy or strike them with whatever they want. But not if there's actually heavy character development beforehand. And when it only takes up a minority of the actual content, like in this visual novel. It has sex scenes, and it has stuff that is maybe not real suited for minors, but the majority of it is actually character development and story progression. And this is... I think you don't even want to hear my babbling, because I can't even make up the words correctly right now. Anyway, and it's get way too warm in here, and I don't know why. We have winter, for God's sake. But maybe my heater is just too turned up. Whatever. Lend it to me, lend it to me. But I haven't even finished it yet. What sort of fanatic would I be if I didn't read it as quickly as possible? Okay, fine. She looked really disappointed. Alright, you can have it. Okay, thank you. Don't read it for too long in one sitting. Your eyes will go bad. That's a lie. That's a lie. Your eyes won't go bad if you read too long, or if you are too what's the word? If you are too close to a TV or something like that. You can, well, at least not with modern screens anyway. Your eyes can just get tired and something like that, and then you just can't open it up or focus properly anymore. But your eyesight don't get bad because of that. After that, we bought some eel and ate it together as I had suggested. We left Sachi's portion in the fridge. Fridge. Mana settled down to read her book after dinner. That's when I received the phone call. Mana was too absorbed to notice, though. A phone call? Oh no. I need to calm down with the smoke first. Yeah, I have to talk to my boss. Let's get high before that. Great idea. I can already predict what Pops wants from me. He most likely wants to question me regarding my further reduction of Sachi's time. He'll kill me if I don't use my head. It's as simple as that. That's why it is an even worse idea to get high before you meet your boss. I exhaled smoke into the wind. Thick clouds lent the night sky a foreboding atmosphere. I headed to the school. Enter. I felt a chill as soon as I stepped into Hoizuki's dimly lit office. It looks pretty bright to me. His eyes tracked my movements with mechanical precision. State your reasoning regarding your supplement to Mitsuhiro Sachi's obligation. As you wish. I took a deep breath. After I judged that Sachi was still not striving to do her best, I came to the conclusion that decreasing her available time further would allow her to obtain a greater sense of crisis. Your judgment was appropriate. However, the problem lies in whether or not you were overstepping your boundaries. Overstepping my boundaries? You mean that decreasing Sachi's available time is a right that falls outside of my jurisdiction? I already knew the answer, but I asked him anyway. Special guidance is a temporary imposition meant to uphold the letter of the law employed by supervising special high-class individuals. Understood. Sachi's days were specified as lasting 12 hours. Special guidance was, first and foremost, intended to preserve that detail. A proper example of special guidance in Sachi's case would be something along the lines of ordering her to remain in her room on standby for at least an hour before 7, so that she would be sure to take her medicine on time. Using special guidance to enforce restrictions that did not assist in the fulfillment of the original obligation was strictly forbidden. You knew that and you did it anyway? Are you kidding me? However, I had reduced her days to 10 hours in length. My action had bent the very law I had been charged with upholding. So reducing Sachi's day to 10 hours in length was something that I needed the approval of the Grand Court for? Since it would mean changing the content of the obligation itself. The badge itself would likely need to be altered as well. Hoizuki simply nodded silently. This time, I will let you off with only a warning. Understood. Whoa, he turned his back on me and said nothing more. Excuse me. Jesus, I thought he was going to kill me. Really? Normally what I had done would demand punishment. Fortunately, he had spared me. So he didn't mind if I overstepped my boundaries a bit, as long as Sachi managed to rehabilitate, eh? Pop's rule is to not ask questions as long as you get results. I think he had one for me that time. Or did he? He did, didn't he? Wait, what? What did he get for you? Huh? I don't get that. Damn it, I have no idea. Me neither. The feeling of having your every intention exposed was quite frightening. But I couldn't do anything about it. I would just have to continue doing what I was doing. I left the school in a thoughtful mood. The clouds above me threatened to let loose with the storm. It's raining again. Oh, it's raining again. The wind wasn't that strong, but the rain itself was incessant. Oh, this is the next day! Sachi opened her eyes. Sachi, it's rain. It's raining! Would you just shut up? No, that's not what they are, but I just edited. Good morning! Mana didn't seem very sleepy for someone who had just stayed up all night reading. So it's raining? It's rain. Can't you see that it's raining? Today's on the rise, ain't it? Huh? Why is he seems so happy? Why does he have so many exclamation marks? It's rain! Can't you see that it's raining? Today's on the rise, ain't it? Please, shut up! Why are you so hyper today anyway? Well, I just figured that it's absolutely perfect weather for an artist. Huh? She didn't look very pleased. Well, as expected. Are you serious? How do you expect me to paint in the rain? Ha ha ha! You can have plenty of fun on rainy days too. Yes, very creepy. Are you not entertained? Oh shit! Sachi said you're acting creepy again. I totally forgot to read it. I was overexcited for some weird reason. I don't think we'll be able to work on it today. Kenichi, the scenery changes when it rains. You think I don't know that? Stop trying to look cool by showing up an amateur. Oh, what did you do? Anyway, Sachi hasn't even finished the sketching yet, right? She needs to get on that. No way! You want me to catch a cold? I already have a headache. You're pretty tough. I'm not worried. Don't act like you know my body better than I do. Oh, but I do. I know it in intimate detail. Oh, I knew he would say something stupid like that. Please, stop messing with me. She clearly didn't want to put up with this today. Sachi, I hope you're aware of the fact that you have to paint. Come on, let me off the hook for just today. I'll even hold the umbrella for you.
ケンイチ、ちょっとくらい休ませてよ。眠いし、気持ち悪いし、ちょっと限界来てるんだってば。
Kenichi, seriously, let me rest a bit. I'm tired and I feel awful. I don't think I can hold out much longer at this rate. The goddamn rain and its goddamn bad timing. She had finally started getting serious last night too.
休むのも大事だって。雨が降ってる今日こそ休んでおくべきだって。
Taking breaks is also important, and today provides the perfect opportunity to do so. I'm sorry, but you can't afford to take a break.
もう
She lashed out at her bed with one of her feet. Violence is bad, okay? That's a South Park reference, Mr. Mackey. Drugs are bad, okay?
ああ、もうイライラする。
Damn it! I'm so damn pissed!
お姉ちゃん。
Oh, Oni-chan. I don't even need to.
わかったよ。じゃあ午後からにしよう。雨が上がるかもしれないし。
Okay, fine. I get it. How about I go in the afternoon then? The rain might have let up by then. We have no guarantee that it will stop raining before noon. The wind is pretty weak, so I think we are in for the long haul.
とにかくやだ。
Fine, then I just don't wanna. If you have enough energy to shout at me like that, you have enough energy to paint. She glared. She glared at me, you mean at me, and gave an exaggerated sigh.
なんであんたみたいな冷たいやつが気に入ったんだろう。
Why did I end up liking a stone cold guy like you? I'm not stone cold. I'm thinking about you, and I'm thinking about Mana.
前の口頭人はさ、たまーに薬の残りのチェックしてただけなのに、どうしてあんたは私の生活にまで構ってくるのよ。
The last high-class individual just checked up on me occasionally to make sure I was taking my medicine. Why do you have to butt in on my life like this? The last high-class individual was a lazy dumbass and got fired, I think. The job of a high-class individual is not to help uphold obligations, but to help rehabilitate those burdened with them.
いつも理屈っぽいのがムカつくし。
The way you treat everything so logically pisses me off too.
お姉ちゃん、ちょっと落ち着いてよ。
Oni-chan, calm down.
あ？いつものお姉ちゃんじゃないよ。いつものお姉ちゃんはもっとニコニコしてるよ。
Wait, what? Nico Nico? Really? What means Nico Nico? I know the Nico Nico ni meme, but what does Nico Nico mean? Does Nico Nico smile more mean? Maybe that's what's Nico Nico ni, and maybe. You are not your usual self. You usually smile more.
笑えない時だってあるっての。
Well, sometimes you just can't smile.
でも、怒るのはやだよ。
But, I don't want you to be angry. Mana's pitiful expression was enough to calm Sachi down.
とにかく、ケンイチは気に入らない。
In any case, I don't like Kenichi's attitude.
お姉ちゃん。絵のこと何もわからないくせに、私のこと気を使ってくれてるわけでもないし。
He knows nothing about painting, and he refuses to consider my feelings.
ケンイチはいつもお姉ちゃんをおぶってくれてるよ。ご飯のお金も出してくれてるよ。
Kenichi carries you back and forth to the field every day and pays for all of our food.
そんなの当然のことじゃん。
I think a different high class special individual wouldn't give a fuck about what you want. And he would only pay for himself. And he wouldn't drag you all the way back and forth. He wouldn't do that. Only Kenichi would do the extra effort to actually help you. That much is to be expected. I was actually a bit taken aback here. I had never realized that Sachi could get this aggressive. Yeah, me neither. Maybe I shouldn't have committed to her. I was starting to sympathize with Mana.
ああ、そうだ。出てってよ。一緒に生活したくない。
But I know why she is like that. I mean, it was a little bit it was a short-term decision in the end. I mean, normally you get to know a person a little bit longer before you commit to said person, but in most cases you only know them for a couple of weeks or even a month and you already commit to them for... yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's right. Why don't you just get the hell out of here? I don't feel like living with a scumbag like you any longer. The rain pounding on the roof had started to sound very lonely. That's enough out of you. Hurry up and prepare to paint. ...
ああ、書くのはいいんだけど、ケンイチにやらされてる感じが気に入らないからやだ。
But that's the whole point! I think she forgets the whole time that on her painting, the life of Mana depends. Mana depends on your painting, and I try to strong arm you because I care for Mana. Come on! You know, I actually don't mind painting. I think I'll pass though, since I can't stand the way you're strong-arming me into it. Unfortunately, it seemed that the only part of Sachi that was ready for action was her tongue. I was certain that she would just continue to offer me excuse after excuse.
じゃあお姉ちゃん、マナのお願いだったら聞いてくれるの？
Oni-chan, will you do it if I ask you? Oh. Mana decided to chime in and lend a hand. Thank God. Sachi.
うるさい！ケンイチはうるさい！
Shut up! Just shut the hell up, Kenichi! There was nothing more I could say to her. Well, we'll be waiting for you in the usual spot. Let's go, Mana. I strode over to the door.
ちょっと、私はまだ行くなんて。
Hey! I never said that I was going to go! I looked back over my shoulder at her. If you don't show up, I'll just decrease your time again. Oh man. Oh, there's even a little animation of Wayne! Wow, why am I so impressed in a visual novel to see a Wayne animation? I took a portable umbrella out of my case and stood in the middle of the road. The sunflowers shed tears of rain.
お姉ちゃん、来るかな？
You think she'll come? Beats me. What would I do if she didn't? Sachi needed to shape up. She had only 6 days left, counting today. If she didn't finish this painting, Mana would have to leave. Forever. And being a maiden sex slave to an old man. I couldn't believe that she could be so opposed to the idea of painting while knowing that. And that's what I'm not getting.
きっと来てくれるよ。ちょっと休憩したら来てくれるよ。
She'll come. I just know it. She'll show up as soon as she gets a little rest. Let's hope so.
ケンイチ、なんだか暗いよ。
Kenichi, you look pretty gloomy. I've always been a gloomy sort of guy.
明るい時はすっごく明るいのにね。
But when you're cheerful, you're really, really cheerful. Dot. What? I wasn't in the mood for this.
あのね、鳥さんがね、
You know, Tori-san. Tori-san?
鳥山光一。
Huh. Oh, the guy in that book I lent you yesterday.
鳥さんがね、すっごいかっこいいよ。
I think Tori-san is really cool. Well, yeah, he was written that way.
あのね、会う女の人と必ずはあはあってなってるのはどうして？
Wait, what? Wait. How come he can make any woman he meets start moaning? I know where this is going, knowing that. Can I hear that again?
あのね、会う女の人と必ずはあはあってなってるのはどうして？
Uh-huh. Well, any man who's good at his job can do that.
ああいう場面の意味がわからないよ。
I don't really get what those scenes mean. It's best that you don't. Trust me.
なんで照れてるの？
Oh, why are you blushing? Oh, you little rapscallion. When I established my company, I tried to be just as graceful, stylish and elegant as Tori, you know? But none of the stuff that happened in the novel ever happened to me. The office was so filthy that women didn't even want to get near it, and I found receptions and meetings to be a pain, so I let my subordinates handle them. And since I wasn't good at dealing with female employees, I only hired a few. Now that I think of it, that might be one of the reasons why my company sank into disrepute. Disrepute. I updated my app. This time I can actually look it up. Because for some reason my library of vocabulary was deleted. But now it is back, so this you. There we go. Come on. Why is it loading so slow? What? Oh, god damn it. Are you serious? Oh. Okay. Yeah. Anrüchig, unehrbar, verrufen, verrucht, schändlich. So. Yeah. Okay. Don't go getting influenced by Toei-san now. Okay. Huh? She accepted that pretty quickly for being so into the story.
あのね、鳥さんね、かっこいいけどね、なんか変なこと言ってたんだよ。
Tori-san is so cool, but he says some weird stuff. Yeah, he's kind of eccentric.
マナ、それがおかしいと思ったの。
I thought stuff like that was kind of strange. Stuff like what?
鳥さんの部下の人がね、営業をたくさんして頑張ってたんだよ。
One of Tori-san's subordinates had worked their hardest to make lots of sales.
すっごい頑張ってたんだよ。公園の水を飲んで、公園のベンチで寝て、公園のトイレを使ってたの。
He worked really, really hard. He drank park water, slept on the park bench, and used the park's toilets. What's that kind of a job? The park seemed to be an important plot point.
でもね、ボロボロになるまで頑張って営業 したんだけど、一件もお客さんにならなかったの。
But even after doing his best and ending up so worn out, he didn't get a single customer. Oh.
そして鳥さんが言うの。
So then, Tori-san said,
君は全然努力していない。
You didn't put in any effort.
君がどこで何をしていたか知らないが、結果が出なきゃ給料はやれない。だって。
I don't know where you were or what you were doing, but I'm not paying you unless you produce results.
鳥さん、おかしいよね。
Don't you think that's a strange thing to say? Oh, that's the pain for everyone if you put really effort into something and you try your very best, but you fail ultimately and everyone accuses you for being lazy and just not trying hard enough. Yeah, I guess. It wasn't really out of the ordinary, but Mana was still a bit too innocent to understand that.
その人すごかったんだよ。お金がなくてインスタントラーメンをお湯なしでパリパリ食べてたんだよ。
That guy was really something. He didn't have any money, so he would eat his ramen without even heating it up first. Really now? How can you eat that stuff when it's not heated up? Mana had a pretty strange definition of working hard.
冬ですっごく寒いのに公園の水で頭を洗ってたんだよ。
The winters were really cold, but he still tried to wash his face in the park water. Yikes! Sounds rough. Wow, just imagine the face of him. Okay, seriously, that would be straight up impossible unless you were given to acts of self-harm. I should know. I tried it once and thought my face would crack off.
そしてインスタントラーメンを水で食べようとするんだよ。
And then he tried to eat his ramen using that water. A ramen fanatic, I see.
それなのに鳥さんすっごく冷たいよ。
But even after all of that, Tori-san was really mean to him. I could understand why Tori-san didn't want to have anything to do with this park guy. Let's see. What was the simplest way of explaining it? Hard work being meaningless without producing results is a common idea in the business world.
そうなの？
Really? For example, you had to clean up the supermarket sometimes, right?
うんうん。床をモップがけしてトイレを磨くんだよ。
Uh-huh. I mopped the floor and polished the toilets. So what would have happened if you worked really hard but didn't manage to clean up everything in time?
そういうことはなかったけど、もしできなかったら、なんだかごめんなさいって気持ちになるね。
That never happened, but if it did, I think I would have felt pretty bad about it. And then what if everyone else finished their job on time? Would you be able to accept the same amount of money as they did?
もらえないね。
I wouldn't. My point is that in both of these cases, the person doling out the paychecks was only looking at the results. It might sound harsh, but results are the best way to demonstrate how hard you worked. Inequality would erase from any other policy. After all, hard work was subjective by definition.
あのね。
Oh, you know what? Mana was a smart girl, so she had probably managed to figure out what I meant.
お掃除はね、マナともう一人のおじさんの二人でやってたの。
During cleaning, I would always be paired with this other old guy. And he was a slacker, right?
よくマナの言いたかったことがわかるね。そうなの。おじさん、最初は真面目だったんだけど、だんだんマナに任せっきりになっていったの。
Oh, Come on, and he got paid full while you did all the work? I think Kenichi should go back to the supermarket and demand more money from him. For her, of course. You knew just what I was going to say. That's right. He worked hard at first, but started relying more and more on me as time went by. But from the manager's perspective, the cleaning was taken care of properly, right? And you both made the same salary.
ずるだよね。
Isn't that unfair? Yep, that it is. Paying someone for being lazy is just going to make them lazier and lazier. He would have shaped up if his salary had been reduced. That's what's weird. I mean, there is a kind of work where the more you can do in a shorter amount of time, the more you get paid. But this kind of work is not forbidden, but it's more or less frowned upon. So in a lot of things, it is like this. You get paid a certain amount, no matter how much of your work you have to do, because if you work in a specific area and there isn't to do, and the amount of things you have to do isn't the same every single day, it's hard to get by just by having fluctuating income. So I guess that's why there are a few systems in place. The one system where you get the same pay every month, no matter how much of you worked. Then there's a system for where you can do the most in the shortest amount of time. And I think there's another system, but I don't know how that was called. I forgot it, but I had it in school once.
そっか。おじさんもかわいそうだね。
I see. I feel sorry for the old man too. You're really kind, aren't you, Mana? Oh, Mana's just... Oh, she's an angel.
あのね、その鳥さんの部下の人ね。それからまたすっごい頑張って独立してラーメン屋を開くの。
How? And then, Tori-san's subordinate, he eventually managed to open up his own ramen shop. That kind of cheesy ending, huh? How? How did he do it? How could he from nothing end up selling ramen in his own shop?
で、お店にやってきた鳥さんに美味しいラーメンをご馳走して言うの。
And then, Tori-san came to his shop after the hard-working man treated Tori-san to some delicious ramen, he said.
あの時、鳥さんに給料をもらえませんでしたけど、それをバネに頑張り続けることができましたって。
Back then, you refused to pay me, but that's why I was able to keep at it.
もし、あの時給料をもらっていたら、そこで自分に満足して終わっていたかもしれませんって。
If you had paid me then, I would have been satisfied with what I had done already, and I would have never made it here. That's really a cheesy ending. There are real-life stories that work out like that, but they are very rare. What a great story! Like I said, a little white lie never hurt anyone. Oh! In the end, it was just fiction.
そっか。勉強になるね。
Hey, she can pronounce it correctly now. I see. How educational. Just don't take it too seriously. And in any case, Sachi didn't seem to be coming. I wonder if she went back to bed. Mana and I were still standing in the rain.
まだね、最近お洗濯が上手くなったんだよ。
Guess what? I've gotten better at doing the laundry lately. Mana was being unusually loquacious. What is that even for a word? Are you using this in everyday life? Loquacious? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Loquacious, okay. Okay, loquacious. Geschwätzig, redselig, gesprächig, schwatzhaft. So, loquacious can be translated into she likes to talk a lot today. Or she is unusually talkative. She talkative, talks a lot and whatever. I mean, they could have easily placed an easier word in here.
ケンイチはどこから来たの？
Kenichi, where did you come from? She kept asking me questions or bringing up anecdotes like the story about Tori-san in order to help keep my spirits up. I really appreciated it. The city.
都会は面白い？
Is the city an interesting place? He comes from which city? Just living in one place or another doesn't necessarily make your life interesting. What's important is the people you are with. Oh, and I'm all alone. I really should. My image should be the forever alone face. I was being uncharacteristically serious myself.
ほほー。
Mana did seem to enjoy these kinds of conversations.
マナもね、お姉ちゃんと一緒ならどこでも楽しいと思うよ。
You're right. Anywhere would be fun as long as I was with Oni-chan. Oni-chan, not Oni-chan. Oni-chan. You love her that much?
好き。
You... Ski? Why? I wanted to bully her a little bit. Was it because Sachi had picked her up?
知らない。そういうのをいろいろ考えるのは違うと思うな。
Oh, I love this girl. I don't know. I don't think you should think too much about that sort of stuff. Yeah, she's basically right there. Mana had no need, no desire to analyze and manipulate people for her own personal benefit.
ケンイチも好きだよ。
I love Kenichi too. She was the hardest kind of person to read. Alright, how about grabbing a bite to eat?
お昼、お昼。
Lunch, lunch! Are you that hungry?
昨日のうなぎ、美味しかったね。
Yesterday's eel was great. I wonder if Sachi ate hers. That is the portion we had left for her.
帰る？
Wanna go back home? Her body language spoke the contrary. Sachi said she would come by this afternoon, right?
うんうん。雨が止むかもしれないしって。
Yep, she said the rain might stop. However, the sky spread out before us was a uniform color. Frankly, I didn't think it would stop until tomorrow. So let's wait for her.
それがいいよ。
That sounds best. And when did you get to eat? Mana's smile became one with the sunflowers. Were both of them wishing for the rain to end? I'm thinking about ending it here, but no. Dots, a lot of dots. Are you cold?
ケンイチにくっついてるから平気だよ。
I'm close to you, so I'm fine. Both my mind and my body are as cold as ice, so keep an eye out for freezer burn.
かっちょいい。
Oh, okay, I had to... Okay. You are so cute! She was making fun of me, what? Wasn't she? This is kinda boring, eh?
しりとりしよう。
Want to play Shiritori? Mana continued trying to cheer me up. Udon or you don't... And I spat at her efforts. Udon? What does udon mean?
がついちゃったよ。
What is this game? How is it called? Shiritori. That ends in an N. I know that. Soup. What can I say? I felt sorry for her.
ルルルル。わかんない。降参。マナの負け。
Oh. I don't know. I surrender. Mana loses. Shameless pandering. I cleared my throat and spoke. Let's go. There's no point in waiting for her any longer.
もうちょっとダメ？
Oh, but can't we wait a bit longer? We need to get back before 3 so we can stop Sachi.
今度は1日8時間なの？
She only have 8 hours now? I warned her, but she refused to listen.
お姉ちゃん、それで大丈夫なのかな？
Will she be okay like that? Honestly, I couldn't say. She wouldn't be able to live anything approaching a normal life at least. She has to paint, so I guess she won't have any time to sleep. Anna frowned.
でも、お姉ちゃん、寝起きがすごい辛そうだよ。
But she looks like she's in pain whenever she wakes up from being stopped. The medicine she is taking isn't harmful. If one disregarded the fact that it had a high chance of causing nightmares, of course. Okay, so it is the nightmare-inducing medicine. Great.
あのね、まだね、おかしいと思うことがあるの。
You know, I thought it was a bit strange.
昨日小説を読んでて思ったんだけどね。どうしてお姉ちゃんが罪人なの？
Yesterday, while reading that novel, I started thinking, why is One-chan a criminal? The word criminal coming out of Mana's mouth hit me like a sack of bricks.
小説の中にはお姉ちゃんよりもっと楽してる人がたくさん出てくるけど、みんな普通に時間あるよ。
In the novel, there were plenty of people who were goofing off a lot more than One-chan, and they still had all of their time. Well, yeah, it's set in a fictional world.
お姉ちゃんってそんなに悪いことしたの？
Did One-chan really do something that bad? She played around instead of paying back the money she owed.
でも日本ではそんなことで特別高等人が来たりしないよ。
But in Japan, special high-class individuals wouldn't come for you because of something like that. Yeah, but the Yakuza would.
その人たちも別に時間を持ってったりしないよ。
They still wouldn't take your time or anything, but they would take your life, and then you have no time left at all. Yeah, well, Japan's pretty lax. For one thing, they seem to have a lot more crime than we do. And of course, there's, how to put it, the world and ours have different conceptualizations of punishment.
概念？
Yeah, thank you, Manha. Conceptualization? Let's put it this way. When you commit a crime in Japan, you get the obligation of prison confinement. But everyone receives this same obligation, regardless of the crime they committed. There's no personal relevance. Whereas in our country, people who have wasted their time have it cut short. Con men are forbidden to speak, and those who have caused accidents are forbidden to drive vehicles.
細かいもんね。
Really detailed, huh? Also, compared to Japan, our government involves itself more deeply in the judicial fuck! Our government involves itself more deeply in the judicial system. They end up monitoring how criminals spend their time, who they fall in love with, and even how they interact with their family. But wait. An obligation? Conman? What are conmen? I know con artists because of the Borderlands game. Or I mean Tales of the Borderlands. And there I hear the word con artist, but I don't really know what it means to be a con artist. Is that just a good liar or something? Con men are forbidden to speak, but how do you get rid of that obligation? I mean, if you can't speak, what? Of course, Japan frowns upon things like inappropriate relations with the opposite sex, laziness and poor home environments as well, but they wouldn't impose an... Wait. Like inappropriate relations with... What are inappropriate relations with the opposite sex? You mean underaged? Or something like that? And poor home as well, but they wouldn't impose an obligation over them. This is because they have a history of holding such values as shame, duty and humanity in high esteem. Even if a ne'er-do-well's evils are not deemed as crimes, their surroundings will mete out a punishment nonetheless. Although the importance of that system of values seemed to be on the decline in recent chapters. In short, our country's judicial system is all-encompassing. We share the same drive for rehabilitation as Japan, at least. Her eyebrows curled up into the shape of, Huh? I was impressed that she had managed to follow what I had said.
でも、マナはこの国の方がおかしいと思うよ。
But I still think this country is weird. I see.
だって、そんなに何でもかんでも細かいところまで国に決められてたら、なんだか息苦しいよ。
I mean, it's kind of suffocating to have the country poke its head into everything. And selling an individual off as a maiden sex slave. When something like this is possible, to just whip someone out of your life and sell them to the highest bidder, then a country is really fucked up. Mana! Sorry, I didn't mean to shout. Mana, please, never say what you just said to me to anyone else. Political criticism like that would just lead to the forfeiture of one's What? Oh, two hard words I never ever heard before. Forfeiture. That would just lead to the forfeiture? That would lead to the loss of one's... Oh, okay. Is there another word for that? Ah, okay. So they could have translated this way easier. Political criticism like that would just lead to the loss of the right to vote. So why would they? Why? I don't get it. It's only in visual novels and only in those so far I found about Akabe Soft for some reason. And those I read were not even official translations. So why would you put in such a hard word? Such two hard words in two sentences, if you could just put in words that were so much easier, like the loss of your right to vote. And instead they put in forfeiture of one's suffrage. What? And then we'd be one step closer to one party rule. Hell, Japan was pretty close to burning books themselves in the most recent volume of that series. It seemed the Japanese had a multitude of faults, no matter the era. We should get going. I want to hear more stories. She didn't even try to follow me. She just wanted to wait for Sachi. Let's go. I grabbed Mana's tiny hand. So again, why the hard words? It could be so easy. Wait, what? Oh, fervent. Okay, and now we translate. So passionate! You could put in so passionate, or so fierce, or so flaming, maybe not, but yeah. So passionate or so fierce was her belief in Sachi that hand felt very warm amid the rain indeed. Why do they put in so many hard words? It makes no sense. I think not even a native speaker would use those hard words to talk to other people or try to describe something. Mana tried to stop me several times on the way back. What word is the exact same backwards and forwards? Waste car. Wow, waste car? Yeah, cool. Okay, so what candy is menacing backwards? Gum? And that would... menacing? Mug is a menacing word? I think it is a negative word. But I don't know the meaning of it. Oh, sometimes the loading fails. There. Oh! Oh yeah! To mark, to warp someone. Okay. You're pretty smart, Kenichi. I was starting to feel sorry for her. Mana, I've made up my mind. She'll stop at 3. But I thought we said we would wait for her. I bet she'll get angry if we end up picking her up. Unjustifiable angry, you mean? Though I had to admit that I could see that happening. Then I'll wait by myself. Huh? I'm going back to the sunflower field. Her eyes radiated sincerity. Are you serious? Oni-chan will come if I wait for her. She'll be all like, sorry about that. I'm super bad at making an effort. Again, the word Nico Nico. Nico Nico. And then she'll start happily painting her picture with a big smile on her face. Alright. She didn't intend to listen to me anyway. I'm heading back. I passed Mana the umbrella.
風邪をひかないようにね。
Yuppus! Don't catch a cold, Kenichi! ... I found it very difficult to turn back and look at Mana, so I headed for the dorm as quickly as possible. But it's almost 3, isn't it? Would really nice if we would have a clock somewhere. Not even this clock works. I groaned as soon as I heard the sound of snoring. Sachi. She was sleeping like an animal. Her blankets were splayed out all across the floor. Sachi. I shook her shoulders. Wake up! She slowly opened her eyelids.
何？
What? She hid under the blankets as soon as she saw my face. I pulled them right back off of her. It's almost 3. Take your medicine. What did you expect? He said it! That he would reduce your time if you're not coming. Don't take him lightly. She stared at me in wide-eyed shock.
本気なの？
Are you serious? This is your punishment for skipping an entire day.
8時間ってやばいと思わないの？
Don't you think 8 hours is screwed up?
寝て起きたら終わりじゃん。
Go to sleep, wake up and that's it?
絵描けないよ。どうすんの？知ってるんでしょ？マナが連れて行かれちゃうんだよ。これで絵が完成しなかったらあんたのせいじゃん。
That's shifting the blame. You had 12 hours before. You tried to trick him and you got punished for it. And he warned you before he left the house. And you still didn't listen to him. And now he punishes you again. And you really try to blame him now? By not doing what he tells you to do and instead try to refuse everything. He really tries to help you, but if you resist so fiercely and even try to shift the blame, this time unjustly, then I don't know what to think about that. I won't be able to paint. What are we going to do then? You know that she's going to be taken away, right? It's your fault if I can't finish the painting now. Quite the speech. She must have prepared it beforehand. Then all you have to do is not sleep. That way you can paint for 8 hours straight.
たく、人事だと思ってさ。
Jeez, and I thought you cared.
ああ、もうマジでめんどくさい。ムカつく。なんで私がこんな苦労しなきゃいけないのよ。
This is fucking annoying. It pisses me the hell off. Why do I have to deal with this shit?
私、そんな悪いことした？してないって。ちょっとお金を返せなかっただけじゃん。
Did I really do something that bad? No, I didn't. All I did was forget to pay back some fucking money.
それに引き換え、この国は借金ばっかりじゃん。返済の見通しも立ってないんでしょ？それなのに、なんで私をいじめる権利があるのよ。
Hell, the country is in debt too. They're never gonna pay all of that back. What gives them the right to treat me like a criminal? Well, I can't argue with that. I mean, almost every country, especially the country I live in, is in debt it will never pay back. So, what right has a country to punish someone which it can't even handle itself in paying back something? It's a good argument, but in the end, the country has more powers than you, so it can enforce it onto you. I know it sounds unfair, but that's how it works. Sachi was like an entirely different person when she lost her temper. I'll do anything in order to save Mana. Just who was it that had said that again? She said it. Sachi, calm down and we'll discuss this.
やだ。なんか説得されそうで怖い。
No, I'm scared that you'll end up persuading me somehow. I just want to ask you a question.
私だって分かってるって。こんな自分がダメなことくらいさ。
I already know that! I can tell you right now that I'm screwed up! She said it without being prompted.
だけど、マジで無理なんだよ。キャンバスに向かうだけですっごい気分悪いし、マナのことばっかり考えちゃうし。
But it's seriously impossible! I start feeling horrible whenever I look at the canvas. I can't stop thinking about Mana. Mana?
マナ、私の絵に期待しすぎなんだってば。
Mana's expecting too much out of my painting.
ほんと。夢にまで出てきて、都合のいいこと言いまくりなんだって。
Really? She even follows me into my dreams. I can't believe she can't be that selfish. She can't be that selfish, sorry.
私の絵は世界一だとか、昔私をバカにした奴らを見返してやれとか。
Wait, what? That doesn't sound bad. She tells me that my painting is the best in the world, that I can show up all of those idiots who made fun of me in the past.
そんな、私なんか大したことないんだから。
I'm not that
もうやめ
special.
てほしいよ。
I'm not that special. I wish she would just cut it out.
マナと出会ってから4年間ずっとだよ。わかる？妹みたいな女の子からずっと期待され続けて、その間ずっと逃げ続けてきたんだよ。
It's been 4 years since I met Mana. Can you understand? The feeling of running away from your little sister's expectations for that long?
今更じゃないの。
Why do I have to do this all of a sudden?
そうだよ。今更だよ。無理に決まってるじゃん。
It's right. It's already too late. There's no way I could have done it.
マナが私に期待しすぎたせいだよ。きっと。
Still shifting the blame, but she is crying. It's all Mana's fault. She expected way too much from me. That's it.
マナと出会わなければ。マナがあんなにうるさく言わなければ。私だってちょっとはやる気を。
Question, isn't she the reason why you are doing this in the first place? So, if she wouldn't be there, you wouldn't even be in the situations. Kenichi wouldn't have a grasp on you and wouldn't have any strings he could tug. He used your relationship with Mana to get you into doing something, and now you wish that very thing to be gone? Isn't that a little bit counterproductive? I mean... Dot 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 dot. Dot. She continued her pity parade. I couldn't stand to listen to her trying to shift her blame onto others like that. I forced her to take her medicine without another word from my end. She shut down at 3 p.m. on the dot. Okay, I think I'm gonna end this episode right here. Oh god, normally playing this cheers me up, but it gets so horrible after a time. I mean, it's just a nightmare. He said that his supervisor said that he's not allowed to reduce the time, but for some reason he is allowed to do that now, and whatever. I hope you enjoyed this episode in some way. Feel like if you did, and it even gets more important than ever, for the sole reason that YouTube changes its system on how your videos will be found. They really go back to the viral stuff with the more likes and views it has, the more views you get, and not your consistency or whatever you do. I don't know, forget about that. Liked it if you liked it, if not, then just let it be. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Maybe if you're new here or didn't subscribe yet, please consider subscribing, and I will hopefully see you around on the next episode of Sharin no Kuni. Stay tuned for that.